Jumbo, everyone. My name is Skyly. I'm going to be your safari driver out here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now, a few safety reminders before we get started. Just remain completely seated the entire time, keeping any hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the safari truck.
It's Blue, and it will be your safari driver today.
Now would be a really good time to make sure you're getting out any cameras, cell phones you'd like to take pictures with. I'll do my best to stop for as many animals as we possibly can, but unfortunately, I just can't stop for all of them. You want a pretty good idea of, hopefully, a lot of the animals we'll be seeing out on our safari today. If you look above your heads, there's going to be an animal spotting guide. We're going to be starting our safari in the Little Aturi Forest. So we're going to be a lot of where the woodland animals like to hang out. Those animals like to rely on camouflage. So definitely check up in the tree lines, any types of shrubs, bush. Get going in just a second. We just have to wait for this truck in front of us to get moving. Friends, like I said, we just have to wait for that truck in front of us to get going, then we can start our safari. Let you know if I hear any updates on why we might be hanging out here. Is this anyone's first safari? Is everyone experts, pros? A couple of first? I promise it gets cooler than this. Hey friends, I appreciate your patience. It sounds like there might be a truck up ahead that might be having a few issues. Hopefully we're going to be back on the move soon. It shouldn't take too long.
15 minutes later.
The truck in front of us is moving, so hopefully that means we are going to be good to head on in. Once again, just make sure we all remain fully seated through the entire safari with hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the safari truck. So I was saying earlier, we're going to be entering the Aturi Forest. That's where a lot of the woodland animals are who rely on camouflage. So be checking up at any tree lines, bush shrubs. And I appreciate you guys' patience. Looks like after all that waiting, we see our very first animal over to the right-hand side, back up in those bamboo. It's going to be the okapi. Now the okapi. I heard someone say zebra giraffe. Exactly. They have a zebra stripe pattern on the back of their legs, but they're more closely related to the giraffe. We know this because of their unique skull structure, and they have a very, very long prehensile tongue. Prehensile is going to mean finger or hand-like. You might hear me say that about a few more animals today. Like I said, the tongue is super long. It's going to be about 18 inches long. To put that in perspective, that's going to be about the length from your elbow to your fingertip. Up here in the bushes, you see up on that hill on the right-hand side, it's going to be the saddle-billed stork. It's a very, very tall bird, standing at about 5 feet tall, wingspan at just about 9 feet wide. It's about the length of the canopy above your head. Way back there, I heard someone say an elephant. It's actually a black rhino. We know it's a black rhino because it has a pointed upper lip. That lip is going to be prehensile, so finger or hand-like once again. It's going to be a very small rhino compared to the others, weighing at about 3,000 pounds. Even with that very large size, they're very fast, agile runners. They can run up to speeds of about 35 miles per hour. They do this by galloping, similar to a horse. It's like straight up ahead. Whenever we get up here, it's going to be over on your left-hand side. Back there in the tree line, it's going to be, two animals. It's going to be a greater kudu and a bongo. The bongo's going to have the more reddish color. Now we can tell those are female greater kudu because they don't have horns. Both male and female bongo will have horns. Females will have a little bit lighter of a coat than the males. Now both animals will have that stripe pattern on their back. Helps defend themselves from any predators. It's a form of camouflage. When they're running through the tree lines, it kind of looks like sun rays coming through. Super cool. Now we are going to be leaving the Aturi forest and we're heading up to the Safi River. Safi River is where you're going to find the semi-aquatic animals. That means they can be both on land or down in the water, so definitely keep your eyes out both places. The very first animal I can see is going to be the pink-backed pelican. They're hanging out on that island right there. And they get their name pink-backed because they get that pink color during mating season. Contrary to popular belief, pelican won't carry the fish around in their mouth like we see in the movies. They'll swallow it instantly, whole. They'll scoop down, scoop up that fish in the water, and they'll lean their face forward to filter out any of that water so they can swallow it instantly. Over to the left-hand side, it's going to be a bloat of hippopotamus. Bloat is going to mean a group of hippos. Now the hippo will spend the majority of its time in the water. However, they're not the greatest swimmers in the world. You can get around by running on the bottom of the water, running or walking. That's where they get the name river horse. Ooh, and there's one up on the land over here, laying down. Try to go super slow so you guys get a good look at that. Now a hippo has a vocalization that can be heard both above and below the water. It's called a wheeze honk. When one hippo starts wheeze honking, they'll all join in together and wheeze honk together as a bloat. Looks like we might sit here just for a second. Sound like there was a giraffe up in the road up ahead. Sound like it did get moving, so we should be going a lot faster than the last time we had to stop. looks like that truck in front of us is moving again, so we should be all set to keep going.
Oh, for the ride?
So we are going to be leaving the Safi River. We're heading up to the savannah. The savannah, just kidding, looks like we're stopping again. Savannah is where we're going to find a lot more of those iconic animals that you see on a safari. It's going to be a very open grassland, very minimal trees. Means hopefully if we're lucky today we'll see a lot of animals really fast, if we do eventually get moving. If I don't stop and talk about them right away, I'm probably just trying to get a little bit closer, get you guys a better look, maybe some better pictures. Alrighty, that truck's moving again, so hopefully that means we're all good to go. So we just have to wait for this truck to get going. Looks like there's just a little bit of traffic waiting for that giraffe to move out of the road. As we're coming up this weird looking tree over on the right hand side, we'll stop and get a good look at it. It's going to be called the baobab tree. You might have also heard it known as the tree of life. Now it gets its name because it is very useful to the animals out on savannah in the drier seasons. It can remain leafless up to 9 months out of the year. However, it stores thousands of gallons of water in its base. Like I said, in the drier season, animals can use their hooves, tusks, horns, anything to try to poke a hole in it. It's a great water source for them. And we're currently at Overlook. Since we're overlooking the entire savannah, so guys look down, looks like we might see a few animals already. So we'll try to get a little bit closer, give you guys a better look. Looks like that truck is back on the move, so we should be all good to head down into the savannah. If you look at those trees, some of the lower branches, looks like some of their leaves are missing. It's a really great indicator that we will hopefully see lots of giraffes around. If you look way over there on the right hand side, looks like I might already see one. Like I said, I'm going to try to get us a little bit closer. Left-hand side, the animals running around and playing. That's going to be the painted dogs. And they get their name from their paint-like pattern on their paint coats. Similar to, like, I'm sure you've heard of a zebra, how they have a unique stripe pattern to themselves. It's going to be the same with the painted dogs. It's like a fingerprint. They are very tiny and very cute animals. However, they're actually one of the world's greatest hunters. They have great endurance, can run their prey to exhaustion. They'll hunt in packs. They'll share their food with the pack. They usually let the pups eat first, which I think is pretty cute. Back over on the left-hand side, animals with the very large horns are going to be sable antelope. Now, sable antelope are actually going to be the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Chose them as the emblem because they never like to back down from a fight. They like to defend their family. Similar to how we should like to defend our family here in the reserve, all these animals, help them out in conservation. So they have very large horns. Whenever they are fighting, they like to get down on their knees just to show how tall they are to assert some dominance. Looks like there are a few giraffe up ahead. This one on the left-hand side we'll be a little close to, and then we'll circle around, get closer to the one over on the right. They are going to be Maasai giraffe, the tallest land animal. They also have the highest blood pressure of any animal. A young giraffe can stand within the first hour of being born. That helps defend itself from many predators with that long, very powerful legs. Its powerful legs give them a very strong, powerful kick. It helps defend it from any predators. They also have a very long prehensile tongue, similar to the okapi, the very first animal we saw on safari today. We're going to come up here, circle around. There's another good view of a giraffe over on the right-hand side. We're also going to be going right past some Nkoli cattle. Nkoli cattle are known for their very large horns. However, even with that very large size, they're going to be very lightweight. They're almost hollow on the inside. They have a honeycomb-like structure. So the Nkoli cattle right on the right-hand side. Behind them is going to be wildebeest. Wildebeest are my favorite animal at this part of the reserve. They're the second most populated mammal in the world, right underneath us humans. Participate in one of the world's largest land migrations. You might have heard it, called the Great Migration. About 1.5 million of them will travel over 1,000 miles every single year. Over to the left over here, it's going to be an eland. And you can tell male and female eland apart because of their size. Males will stand a little bit taller than a female. Both have horns, both have corkscrew horns. However, female will have a little bit tighter of a corkscrew. Looks like there might be two more giraffe up here. They're going to be on our left-hand side when we drive past them. Like I said, I'm going to try to go super slow, let you guys get a really good look at them. There's also another giraffe over on the right-hand side. Looks like we're eating something in the bush. Go slow to this one as well. And we are heading into more of a woodland area. This is still going to be the savannah. Like I said, just a couple more trees. Means the animals that are over here hopefully rely on more camouflage. And I already see the very first animal. Just part of the savannah. Looks like there's an African elephant up ahead. Try to circle around. We might get a better view over on this side. Now that is most likely a male elephant because he's hanging out by himself. Males will usually stay by themselves, solitary animals. If they do form a group, it'll be a bachelor herd. You might have seen it walking over there. There's going to be a smaller monkey. It's going to be the mandrill. They get their color. They are known for their very bright colors. They actually get their colors. They get more brighter based off of their mood. we can get another view of that male elephant. Might be kind of back behind us. If not, we'll keep going, see if we can get any more animals or elephants up ahead. Like I was saying, the males are more solitary. Females will hang out in a group. They form a matriarchy where they take care of the young. They have lots of uses for their large ears. One of the most important things is it helps cool themselves down. They have lots of veins and blood vessels in their ear. If they flap their ears, it can pump through the rest of their body, cooling them down. They can also just use their ears to say hi to one another. Flap their ears, wave their trunks around, greeting. Heading up into some red clay. Hopefully a good sign that we might see a few more elephant up ahead. Elephant like to eat the red clay to get some of the minerals they might be missing out in their everyday diet. See some of their tusk marks over on the right hand side over there. Now my favorite fact about elephants is that they're a keystone species. So keystone means that they provide a lot for the environment, other animals around them, and conservation. Some ways they can do that is they're really good at finding watering sources. They can detect the water underground, use their large trunks and any types of tusks to dig out those watering sources to provide watering holes for other animals. They also eat lots of nuts, berries, and figs, which is really good fertilizer for the land. They're also a very iconic animal. They are very symbolic for different types of cultures. It makes them really, really good advocates for conservation. Not seeing too much over here. Keep moving forward. Hopefully we can find a few more before we head on out. I'm not seeing too many elephant, but this is a really great example of one of those watering holes they might have protected under the ground, dug out to help those other animals. Other animals like the greater flamingo, which you can see hanging out over here. Now, as I'm sure you all already know, the greater flamingo get their pink color from the food they eat, so different shrimp or krill. They won't get that pink color till they're about 2 years old, however. They have a very similar leg structure to us humans, except right in the middle where it looks like that should be their knee joint, it's actually their ankle joint. Knee joint's going to be a little bit higher up, almost under their feather line. Looks like we might have another view of an elephant. It'll be in between those tree lines over on the left-hand side. Try to go slow so you guys can hopefully see. Now up ahead, this might not look super important to you guys. However, it's really important to animals like the elephant or different types of rhinos. It's going to be a mud wall over to the left-hand side. Now, a mud wallow is used to help cool themselves down. It's also a natural sunscreen or bug repellent for animals. Super cool. Over on the left-hand side, it's kind of laying down. The fastest land animal, the cheetah. said, that is the fastest land animal. They can go 0 to 60 in just about 3 seconds. They can do that by using a semi-retractable claw. It's going to be very similar to how athletes will wear cleats. It'll help grip the ground underneath them. Now, they never maintain those speeds for a very long time. They only usually do it while hunting. There's one walking around up here. I'll try to go slow, give you guys a good look at it. Now, they will have that black tear marking. It helps them hunt because they hunt during the day. Similar to how athletes will wear that black paint marking underneath their eyes. Helps absorb the sun and not reflect off of that golden coat. Now, like I said, the cheetah is a big cat that hunts during the day. It'll be different to the lion, which is straight ahead of up on those Kopi rocks, that'll hunt during the night. That is a female lion. Now the lion, like I said, it'll spend the majority of its time resting, up to about 20 hours per day. They hunt at night, and it's going to be the females who do all the hunting. The males will hang out, defend the pride, take care of the cubs. If you look straight ahead over to the right-hand side when we go by, there's going to be a white rhino. Hopefully when we circle around these Kopi rocks, we'll get a little bit closer to them. Now we can tell it's a white rhino, different than the black rhino, because it has a flat upper lip. It's going to be a little bit larger as well, weighing at about 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. Just like the black rhino, even with that very large, even though they're very large, they can run up to speeds of about 35 miles per hour. Do it by galloping like a horse. Not seeing too much other in that Kopi rocks. Closer to sunset, if you're walking around and hear what you think is a lion's roar, chances are it probably is. Both male and female's lion's roar can be heard up to about 5 miles away. Super loud. Don't see any right now, but if you look in those burrows, it's a really great space for any warthogs to hang out. Really good at digging, however they usually don't like to use their own burrows. They'll take from other animals like an aardvark. And we're going to have rhinos on both sides. I'm not going to be able to stop, but I'll go super slow, so hopefully you guys can get some good look, good pictures when we go by. Straight up in front of us is going to be the ostrich, the largest flightless bird. Unlike other birds, they usually have like 3 or 4 toes. An ostrich is just going to have 2, with a really long claw that comes out the end. Similar to a cheetah, helps them grip the ground when they run a little fast. There's a good example of the mud on that rhino's back. Probably used to cool himself down. Or the sunscreen or bug repellent. Over to the right-hand side, there's going to be a few ostrich eggs. And the ostrich eggs are going to be very, very large, weighing at about 3 pounds per egg. They're very strong as well. They can hold an entire human's body weight and not crack. We are leaving the savannah and we are heading to Magadi Glen. Magadi Glen is where the warden lives. The warden keeps some Nigerian dwarf goats around. They're really good grazers, great for mowing the grass. Even though they are very tiny and very cute animals, a lot of people do like to keep them as pets. However, we just need to make sure that before we purchase or adopt any pets, we do our proper research. We want to make sure we give them the very best care and everything that they need. Now, making sure we do proper research is a great way to help those smaller animals you might have in your homes as pets. It's also a really great way to help some of those larger animals that we saw out on our safari today. You might not keep them as pets, but you do visit facilities like zoos or aquariums that take care of them. Whenever you do visit those facilities, you just want to make sure that they are also doing their research to give them the very best care possible. They're helping out in conservation. A great way to check and make sure that facility you're visiting is good at doing that is by checking to see if they are AZA accredited. AZA is going to stand for the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. Okay, so just make sure it sets a standard for those care for the animals and also to help out in conservation. Luckily enough for you guys, you've already done that today by visiting Disney's Animal Kingdom, so great job everyone. Like I was saying earlier, if you want to see a few more animals that we did not see on our safari today, definitely check out the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail or the Maharaja Jungle Trek. Unfortunately, our time is quickly coming to a close. That would be a really good time to make sure you're gathering any of those personal belongings. As much as I would love to, I don't think your personal belongings want to go on a second safari without you, so definitely want to hang on to them. So it looks like we are about to be heading up to the dock once again. Just make sure we remain completely seated until we reach that full and complete stop. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to see you again soon. No two safaris are exactly alike. Alrighty friends, if you're sitting on that right hand side, just watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs. Those doors are going to be sliding open. Watch your step. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone.